Hello, my name is Kiran and I am in Nilgiris, Tamil Nadu, India. So, there has been a development recently. So, I have a few questions to ask. I have lived on this planet Earth as a life form which had evolved on this earth. I'm a human being. I'm sure most of you are who are watching this and who can comprehend it. The earth, I'm going to talk only things I have learned based on what I've um, learned, and only those things which are empirical, which can be proved, which are tangible, which have tangible evidence. I'm not going to talk anything a priori ontogenic, ontological, etc. So let me start with this question: what is life? The Earth is 4.5 billion years old, um, according to at least the lead as estimate, the lead carbon radio dating, and the eukaryotic life on Earth is said to have arisen 2.2 billion years. That is the estimate I have read based on microfossils, etc. I am a eukaryotic organism, and so is so much of the planet's life forms today. In these 2.2 billion years, what has really survived? What has come down to us even to this day? There have been billions, a plethora, a multitude, unimaginable multitude of living organisms which are eukaryotic, which have survived and perished, and whose descendants have come down to this day. 2.2 billion years of evolution has produced this multifariously unimaginable complexities of life. And even so, what has come to this day? To this day, that which has started in the beginning 2.2 billion years, and to this day, what has come to us? Is it not a bunch of chemicals, DNA and protein? What is the purpose of life? All living organisms, according to the theory of evolution, this the um synthetic theory of evolution, all life is doing two things: survival and reproduction. If we are only doing survival and reproduction, to whose benefit? What is who is the winner in the game of life? I know these are questions which have been asked from the beginning of time by human beings. Let me put it in another way. Our society, at least in my society, motherhood, everybody around us, everything in this world are doing two things: the reproduction. People have worshipped phallus, the fertility, and motherhood is claimed to be sacred. I'm asking the question: why is a mother caring for her child? What makes a mother do what she's doing? Will she do if that force which is making her to do is switched off? In other words, is anything sacred and is anything profane? After the discovery of the the DNA and the genetic code, we have understood a lot of things. We do have something called blueprint, and I would like to call that programming. We are programmed to do certain things in life. For example, when a baby is born at one particular age, it turns, it walks, it stands, it moves, and after that, any organism for that fact, grows into sexual maturity, develops the sexual characters. I'm asking the question: what will happen if we switch off those genes? Will a mother still care for a child? The answer to that question was really a bit, It is very simple. A mother will not care for a child. We have evidence both in vitro and in vivo, which shows that everything which we do on this planet Earth, everything which we call happiness, for example, sex, um, everything which we do can be basically divided into two things: our children, our home, money, wealth. What is it all for? This device which is capturing my image and it's transmitting it has also a programming. Imagine if this device thinks that it is happiness. Does happiness even have a meaning? Why would why would we raise children in the first place? Is that even love? And if we won't do that, if our genetic programming is switched off, and if so this is the ultimate question I'm raising right now at the age of 31. I have had a very dissociated, luckily I have had a very dissociated upbringing. Have no social cues. I don't have. I can't decipher social. Perhaps those things have made me different, and I have lived all as long as I know in isolation, at least for the last 10 years. So these questions have made me to stand on a precipice and ask and see what the majority of in this world are doing. No matter whatever they are, they're doing one thing: they are surviving and they're reproducing, and they think, love is happiness. Will that same person do even fall in love? Love itself, what is love? Is it not been programmed? E.O. Wilson told that we are eusocial animals. The bonds, an altruistic society always beats a selfish one. So it all comes down back to square one, which is we are all programmed beings. I'm asking the one question to you, anyone who is watching this: what is life? What is happiness? Is raising children, falling in love, happiness? And if it is not happiness, why then we are doing? The majority, billions and billions of people, not only people, but all other animals and plants and single-celled organisms are doing this. What is happening on this planet Earth? Why would people can't even comprehend such a basic fact? Buddha has told something called, he said, nothing is permanence, the impermanence. This is once again nothing new. Heraclitus has spoken about this. The second law of thermodynamics, the law of entropy, which shows that energy will a system will always deteriorate. And still, why are we seeking happiness in our own programming, in doing what occurs to us? Let me put this in the other way. A society which has a majority of heterosexuals condemn all sorts of deviant sexual behavior called paraphilia. Let us go on a thought experiment, and perhaps if all the straight human beings are dead, and somehow the necrophiles repopulate the earth somehow, uh, what kind of society? How will that a necrophile society look upon us? Will they condemn us for having sex with a live person, even for recreation? What are we doing on this planet? What are we doing as the majority of our life? That is what I want to know. What are people doing? What is happening on this earth? What as a life form, what are we doing? Do you know, imagine in a necrophile society, they will certainly condemn us for it's a necrophile majority society. Aren't we doing the same thing to others? So it comes back to the same question: is there anything sacred in this world? Is there anything we cannot break the laws of nature? If we can't break, then if the then how can anyone say this is right and this is wrong? Can a programmed being have happiness at all? What are we Why are we doing the things which we are doing in life? There is a person, an ancient Buddhist monk called Nagarjuna. He wrote a book called Mula Madhyamika Karika. In it, it talks about Pratitya Samarpada, dependent origination, and he basically tells everything shunyata. Uh, what I want to emphasize is, he says thousands of years ago, he talks about the impermanence of things. If everything changes, if everything is impermanent, can there be a God? Why is there a need for in a used social society for God? Is God not an expression of our fears and our inability? Is God not a glue which is binding us versus them? I find the concept of God's very similar to sports. In a eusocial society, I believe that uh, the concept of a God is whatever I'm saying is not what I am saying. These are not my question, my thoughts, but so these are what I have read. So, dear people who are interested in philosophy, who are interested in knowledge, Sophia, the question I'm asking you is, what are you doing in your life? Will you do the same thing to find happiness? For example, raising children, taking care. I mean, child parturition is is something really hard. Nobody in their right mind will give birth to a child, a woman, and yet her hormones, her society, her environment is making her to do again and again. Why? Is a child, is money, happiness? If these things are not happiness, what is? Buddha said once again that ignorance is the source of all sorrow. What my answer, of course, I am once again searching for answers. My answer could be is knowledge. Ultimately, we have evolved the potential to understand, not only to comprehend, to find out not only us but the entire cosmos, something which the other animals from whom whose ancestors with whom we have also evolved do not share. So if, having understood that our life, whatever we do it, we know think as happiness is being programmed to us, should we not stop doing what is our programming, and as an intelligent being, look down upon programming and look up with the acquisition of knowledge, the love of philosophy, love of knowledge, which is philosophy, the study of philosophy, all knowledge. So I think the if there could be, life is what you make of it. Life is, for a pedophile or for a necrophile, His happiness can be only with deviance, that we say as deviance. Remember that certain things which were considered deviant, for example, fellatio, oral sex, and homosexuality, they are not so considered deviant. When civilization started, before civilization started, we lived in as hunter gatherers. uh, what I have understood is, the hunter gatherers were led by, they were uh, matriarchal matriarchy, so they were led by women. And after we developed agriculture, when history as such, 10,000 years started, we that's when in, um, patriarchy, religion, kingship, everything came in. I'm talking about what Karl Marx told about the proto communist society. So why I'm saying this, so the only thing that see, when we things will, I'm sure, certainly change when every person in this world is being educated about this very important truth, that true happiness or life indeed doesn't we don't have to live a life so that a righteous life here so that we can go and live forever in heaven. So that we have been for centuries, especially I am have a fair Christian background, so I too belong to the Western concept for so many centuries now. People have been, for millennia, almost, people have been taught, to lead a righteous life. I'm asking the question, what is righteous and what is sinful, what is profane? So this is what I would like to end my video with the question, what is life? Can a programmed organism have happiness? Why are we doing the things we are doing? Is raising children and surviving, you know happiness? Why do we have jealousy, anger? Why majority of the human beings are going after gods and goddesses? What is happening to us as so as a life form on this planet, which is lived, which has survived to this day, 4.5 billion years, at least 2.2 billion we have lived. Who's the ultimate winner in this life? So the the life forms change over time, but for who's going to live forever by the actions you do? Are not these genes which is going to live, which is lived there 2.2 billion years ago? I'm sure there was genetic material. I'm sure today we have because we wouldn't call a eukaryotic cell eukaryotic if it doesn't have genetic material. So this is what these are the questions I've placed before you. Even the answer which I've told, uh, that acquisition of knowledge, the study of knowledge, is that even I'm going to, I would like to even scrutinize that. Is that even happiness? How are we going to find purpose in life, which which is a programmed, can a robo find happiness? That is what I would like to end with. Thank you.